Russell Westbrook, all this noise about, hey, let him come off the bench. He's Russell Westbrook. He starts and finishes every game throughout his career. And then all of a sudden, his 12th year in the league, with him being one of the top 75 players in NBA history, a surefire first ballot future Hall of Famer, a walking triple-double, all of a sudden we're going to talk to him about coming off the bench. It's not going to happen. We all know that's not going to happen. So it's really about looking at him, looking at Anthony Davis, looking at LeBron James, and then I say to myself, Malik Monk, let his confidence elevate to some degree, and that could definitely be a plus. And Carmelo Anthony. I think Carmelo Anthony is going to be a key component with the Los Angeles Lakers this year because he's a perimeter threat. Obviously, he didn't show that last night. He showed that the game before, though, when he dropped 28. In the end, what it comes down to is that you're going to have to leave Melo open when you're talking about Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Russell Westbrook on the floor together. And I think that could be an ingredient for success with the Los Angeles Lakers with those guys in the lineup together.
Well, we've seen the Staples Center crowd just go crazy for Carmelo Anthony, so we know that they love him. But Stephen A., put on your Dr. Stephen A. hat for a second if you could.
Sure.
How cautious would you be with LeBron James and Anthony Davis here?
As cautious. In the case of Anthony Davis, definitely cautious. I mean, bringing a surgeon, a podiatrist, a masseuse, everything. Give him everything he needs because the one impediment to his success has been his durability. In the case of LeBron James, trust him. Listen to him. This is a guy that takes phenomenal care of his body. He's constantly monitoring himself in terms of making sure that he's in peak condition. And he's proven over the years, not only that he's durable, but that he's trustworthy. He knows his body better than anybody else. So you listen to him and let him guide you as to when he deems himself ready and when he doesn't. But we all know that this Lakers team is assembled for playoff action. Carmelo's 37, LeBron's 36, Russell Westbrook is 32, going on 33. Anthony Davis has been in the league for a while. We know Rondo's been in the league for a while. This is a team that's built for the postseason, not the regular season. So it's not important for them to be a top 2 or 3 seed. They could be a 4th or 5th seed. It does not matter. As long as they're healthy, they're a legitimate threat, and we all know that.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, right, Stephen A.? But I appreciate you putting your doctor's hat on for a little bit. Thank you for coming on. But will you stick around for me? And do you want to talk a little Knicks in a little bit?
Hey, listen, it's you and the ladies, Shanae, and come on now. All y'all, of course, Ramona, I'm here for y'all. I'm here for y'all.
Oh, well, then can I get a little bit of a bing bong? Have you seen that going around?
Bing bong?
Yeah,
no.
There you go.
Here's what I'll give you. We here. Oh. I'm in New York. We here.
Well, then
I'll give you that.
Come back for that. We have to come back for that, Stephen A.
Yes.
I appreciate you.
Afraid, having watched LeBron now for nearly 20 years, that we are seeing the end of his indestructibility. Not the end of his greatness, but just he can't go on like this forever. We judge too many things with the standard of Tom Brady, who's moving around, let's be fair, relative to LeBron in a small spot. LeBron is up and down the court.
It's called a pocket.
A pocket. LeBron has no pocket.
That's right.
And as a matter of fact, the other night, when he had that incredible reverse two-handed throwdown, I'm still looking at him, and there's not the fluidity of movement because he's got injuries. LeBron didn't have injuries. The two things that always impressed me the most were LeBron James always makes the right play on the court, decision-making. Always. And he was indestructible. Greeny, when you have a series of injuries 3 times in 4 years, you're not indestructible anymore. And the Lakers are not going to be the Lakers that people expect if he's
I want to make clear what it sounds to me like we're saying. Stephen A., has the era of LeBron James being the league's dominant player come to an end?
I wouldn't go that far because I think when healthy, he can still be that guy. My question to Wilbon, albeit rhetorical, is where have you been? I mean, LeBron James was hurt last year, okay? The reality
is not a,
all I'm trying to say is that
pattern.
What we're seeing right now is what we anticipated. Why do you think Russell Westbrook's there? He's 4 years younger. Okay, he's averaging, he's shooting 26% from three-point range. He's averaging nearly 5 turnovers a game. But what did we say? We said LeBron is 36, and Carmelo Anthony is 37. We're looking at Russell Westbrook. You're 32. You're going to quicken the pace. You're going to push the ball up the floor. And the combination of you with Anthony Davis should be able to spell for the games we anticipated. LeBron was going to be out because he's preserving himself. That's the problem. The fact that they don't look that great. Not that LeBron is injured right now.
Stephen A., anticipating something and seeing the reality of it, two different things. I was there when Cal Ripken suddenly had to miss games and was done being indestructible. I was there to watch Walter Payton no longer be indestructible. We see this from the greatest athletes of all time, and it's hard to watch. So, yes, you can anticipate it, but the reality of it is an entirely different deal.
I'm looking at a total different lens, and I still have the Los Angeles Lakers as the clear-cut best team in basketball.
Oh, please.
That's what I have. And the thing is,
I need Jalen's glasses.
I need someone to check his glasses.
most teams struggle without their best player. LeBron James wasn't present. AD still had 28 and 19. Here's the thing. When they get none back and they get THT back, their role players are going to fall into place.
Okay.
And I'm telling you guys, Klay's going to eventually come back. Maybe Kawhi's going to eventually come back. Murray's going to eventually come back. Don't disrespect the Utah Jazz, but I still think when the Lakers are healthy, they're the best team.
But when they're healthy, that clause comes up more and more now. When they're healthy, if they're healthy.
Here's what I am going to disrespect. Those glasses. Those glasses. There's something wrong with those glasses because that's just not the case. Here's the deal. Let me put this on blast. If Klay Thompson and James Wiseman come back, the Warriors winning the championship, not the Lakers. Lakers can't mess with them. You got to have your point guard that can hit threes. You got to have your point guard that can avoid 5 turnovers a game. You got to have the combination of LeBron and AD doing what they're capable of doing. This is what I'm talking about when I'm looking at the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron, we've been talking about this for the last couple of years. We know how sensational he is. But there's a reason we said, is KD the best in the world? Is Giannis the Greek freak the best in the world? Because LeBron has been slipping just a touch. Not taken away from his greatness because it's still there.
But is it health the reason why?
Of course.
Yes, we're saying the same thing, Steve.
Of course.
He's had 3 seasons in L.A. prior to this one. He's only finished one of them healthy, and that was the one where they had the long layoff and then went to the bubble, and they win the championship. So, to your point, if he's all there at the end, maybe they are the team to beat, but that is a big if. To the point that you made, maybe a bigger if than it's ever felt like in his career.
He's going to be healthy come playoff time. To me, Anthony Davis is more of a question mark about health than LeBron James.
We said this last year, Jay.
He was the one that missed the playoff games last year.
But LeBron wasn't himself, wasn't the indestructible LeBron we're used to seeing. All I'm saying is, doesn't it bother you guys that they lost twice in this way?
Oklahoma City.
OKC got how many wins on the season?
Right. Yes.
2.
Correct.
Both over
26-point lead, 19-point lead, lost both games.
They've had to force easier schedule. So you hope that they would get off to a good start.
You got Wilbon concerned about LeBron's health. You got him more concerned about AD. I'm most concerned about Russell Westbrook. Because to me, I know, listen, AD going to be healthy or he not. Period. LeBron going to be healthy or he not. Period. Russell Westbrook could be 100%, and this still might not work.
So when we're debating,
this still might not work.
When we're debating which of the Lakers' concerns is the biggest, you know,
all noise over the first week and talking about him, and I've been one of those guys saying it's going to be hard for him all year to find rhythm. So here's what this says to me. First and foremost, it says they can win games now when LeBron sits. That wasn't a luxury they had the last 2 years. And why does that matter? Well, look at last year. They came out of the 7-hole, and you're not doing that in the West. You're not winning 3 straight road series in the Western Conference, because in one of those you would lose the first 2 games, and you're not coming back and win 4 out of 5 in that situation. You're just not statistically. So now you can win games when LeBron sits, and that's the main benefit of Russell Westbrook right now. The question still is going to be, though, how do you allow him to retain more of who he is as a player, playing with LeBron James? And there's only one solution: stagger minutes as much as you possibly can. And I know it's hard for Russ to ever accept coming off the bench, and we talked about that here before. I'm saying the first 6 minutes of the game are garbage anyway. All that is 10 dudes agreeing, hey, can we all get a shot up and get a sweat going? Because nothing happens. And it's 6 minutes of wasted time out there with LeBron. But look, he's going to stay a starter. I say get him out of the game sooner, put him back in for LeBron, give him a 6-7 minute stretch without him. Do that in each half. Right there, that's 14 minutes where it's his team. Because that's what Frank Vogel's going to have to do, Stephen A., to navigate this, because you're going to have a lot of rough nights from Russ offensively.
I got you.
Like, as constructed.
Well, let me say this to you, man, because this is my brother right here. We used to shoot around together and all that stuff. I want you to tighten up your soliloquies just a little bit, because, and here's the reason why.
Are you telling people they talk too long?
Let me tell you.
That can't come from him.
It is coming from me. Only because we want time to get back at you, my brother.
All right.
That's why. Here's the deal. What did Russell Westbrook's performance tell us? Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. You know what? And I'm going to be clear, because I don't want this to be interpreted as disrespect to Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook scored 33 points last night. We didn't know he could do that. We know he could do that. Really, we really surprised. Let's look at the numbers here. Russell Westbrook had 10 rebounds. We didn't know he could do that. Russell Westbrook had 8 assists. This is a walking triple-double now. We didn't know he could do that. Russell Westbrook did it on 27 shots. We didn't know he could do that. Of course we did. The point is, when you look at Russell Westbrook last night, it would have meant everything if LeBron and AD were on the court, because that's what you're looking at come playoff time. Russell Westbrook with one other star on the court did what he always does. That's Russell Westbrook. That's who he is, ladies and gentlemen. Not the dude that dropped, single digits in game 1. Not the dude that followed that up with a 15-point performance and a 13-point performance. That's Russell Westbrook. The brother that can drop 30 on you and damn near a triple-double, if not literally a triple-double. We know that. So now we're at a point where all we're looking for from Russell Westbrook is, what can you do with 2 other dynamic stars on the court? Because that's what it's going to take for the championship. LeBron James is going to be there come playoff time. Anthony Davis is supposed to be there come playoff time. They're going to be on the court with Russell Westbrook. What are you going to do when you have to be deferential to some degree to those guys and you're going up against the Golden State or Utah, even the Clippers, assuming Kawhi Leonard comes back healthy, the Phoenix Suns? What are you going to do then? Until I see that, all I saw was Russell Westbrook being Russell Westbrook.
But you kind of glossed over what Tim said in terms of having that depth. So LeBron can rest,
right,
and they can get a better seed.
Yeah, but my point, Molly, is this. All I'm saying is that you have to see Russell Westbrook with a fully loaded squad do that, so you know that he fits in with who you're going to have on the court.
Or maybe not.
I don't think he'll have nights like that with those 2 guys.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I brought it up. That's why I said it meant nothing. You got to see it when they're on the court with them.
Marcus?
Go ahead, Swagoo.
It's just what he's willing to do. To your point, Legs, like his mentality. This is about Russell Westbrook. This is not about LeBron James and AD. It's about Westbrook and his mentality and what he will allow himself to be in order to win a championship. This is the thing that I stood on when they signed Russell Westbrook. I said Russell Westbrook in no way is going to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers without a diminished role in what he's been used to in his career, because he cannot win a championship being Russell Westbrook. Yeah. As you just pointed out, Stephen A. So I lean where you are, Legs. If we are going to diminish the fact of coming off the bench for Russell Westbrook and say he can't thrive in that way, it's going to have to be a responsibility to LeBron James and AD, and Russell Westbrook is going to have to identify that first the offense runs between these 2 guys, and I have to find my way. And that's difficult when you've been who he is for his entire career. And remember this, he's played with 2 superstars already in his career. Now, granted, they were young between him, KD, and James Harden. They wasn't the established guys that they are now, but they all knew each other's talent. And they all had to try to figure out, how do we do this together in order to try to have success? This is not about the Los Angeles Lakers. It ain't about Vogel. It ain't about LeBron, AD. This is about what is Russell Westbrook willing to do and accept, potentially being a diminished role type guy in order to win a championship. So do I want to continue my triple-double streak? And do I want to force myself to put points on the board, assists, and have the ball all the time?